Well, first of all, like any questions or anything I could help with that you guys are running into? Yeah.
You draw two circles at a certain distance between them. Can you extrude, like, make a cylinder, a curved cylinder out of it?
Let me. So you want to make a curved cylinder out of?
Yeah, like. Is there a mark? Anyway, you draw a circle here and a circle here, and you want to make that.
Like they're both on the same plane?
Yes.
And
do you have to draw a curve in between them or something?
let me see here. Like you're doing like this, then like that. And what do you want to do?
Let's say you wanna join them like that, like a U curve.
Oh well, I guess like the.
You don't have to show it. I'm just asking.
You mean like you want to create a 4 between them, so you're just creating like a horseshoe?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I would say like a easy way to do that would be go into the front view and draw the U-shaped curve, and then do a
extrude.
Yeah, extrude along the curve.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Say you already made a form like a table, but you decided it was too long, and you want to like shorten it a little bit without. So you already have the legs, you know what I mean? Shorten the table.
One thing you could do is create a form in the middle. Like let's say you just have like you just want to make the top of the table shorter, right?
Exactly.
You could just create a vertical plane in the middle, trim it, and join the two and shrink it down. Or you could do if you disconnect the as long as like the legs aren't connected, you could just do a command called scale 1D. Let me show you what that is. Oops. So something like scale 1D. Why is it doing that again? Oh well. So let's say you just have this box and you want to make it shorter in this direction. You could type in scale 1D. You click on one edge, then the other, and then you can just pull back like that. And that can be done in 2D as well. So you could scale 2D. See, like you didn't want to do anything to the thickness, but you did want to do to both sides. You could pull it back, and it comes like that. So. Is anyone having trouble getting the building? Hold on, what's that? Let me show you guys where this is. Anyone having trouble downloading the models? Now today, if I end up going too fast and you get lost, just stop me so I can come around and look at what your screen's going on. All right, so we're gonna move into this file, which is session 2 building modeling, and here I've just set up some simple floor plans, and I've already built the general form for you guys, just so that we can go through this a little faster and not have to set up with all these layers and everything over here. So if you expand this, see I've just set up some layer systems in order to keep things organized and make sure that once I start drawing things in 2D, I can create things in 3D from them and not have to go back and delete just to keep them separate. So,
how do you bring up the layers?
You could down here in the bottom.
Oh yeah.
You right click down here, and that will come up there.
Sorry about that. It's just in my.
Yeah, right there on default. Right click there.
Okay.
If you right click it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And anyway, so if you take a look at this model in perspective, we just have a general building form, which I've made kind of complex just so I can show you something about the apply curve command later on. But let's just say that these are your general floor plates. So if we go back into the top view, let's say we wanted to create an atrium or something like that on the second and third floor. So we wanted to cut out from these floor plates. So let's just go into the 2D floor and draw an arc. Let's just say we wanted to create this atrium right here, some strange shaped atrium. I don't know, do whatever you think you would like for atrium space. And then we could get these two curves selected, and let's try a command called curve Bullion. And once you click in there, it will select this whole area within. So you're just clicking on the area, and you're using like these two forms to fill in this shape. And with that command, you just have this entire shape all filled out. And then we could do, once again, a planar surface. And if we change this to shaded, we can see that it's actually a real surface.
What was that very first command you did?
Bullion, curve Bullion. Here, let me type that in again. So just curve Bullion. And I'm going to give you a list of these commands too. I'm going to put them up on coursework because I'm going to go through a few more. We're going to be using mostly the same commands we were using last week, just to try and put this in perspective of how to design really for an actual building. So selecting those. And there we have an actual planar surface now coming from that. And let's just say we wanted to copy the same thing up to this level above, so we can do the same thing. Does everyone have a... Oh, sorry. So just select this right here, and you can type in copy, or just usually C will work. And then I clicked right here. I kept the way I set these up is like the second floor and the third floor, they're all like the same distance away from each other. So then you can just click on one point and the other, and it'll be the same.
How'd you make the surfaces?
Pretty much once you have this exterior line selected, I typed in planar curve, or planar surface, sorry. It just looks like planar SRF. Some of the things you'll notice in Rhino when you want to type in curve, it's just CRV, and surface is SRF, and that's pretty much two of the only things that really they seem to abbreviate for some reason. But does everyone have a second floor and a third floor? Oh, might as well do a first floor as well. So then we can start making these actually 3D, and we'll go down to this layer, which is called 3D floor plates. Oops. Try and make that current. And we're going to, we can select all of them and go up here to solid, and we say extrude surface straight. And you see it selects all of them. And we're just going to do that at negative half, do negative 6 inches, so half a foot. All right, undo that again. So select all of these.
It's a planar surface, right?
Yeah, these are all planar surfaces now. A good way to be able to tell if things are in planar surface or not is to make sure you're in shaded as opposed to wireframe. And once again, go up to solid, go down to extrude surface straight. And instead of half a foot, we're just going to do -1, make things easier. So then you have a way you can easily select all of those now is go over to 3D floor, which is the current layer, which you just created 3 floor plates for, and you can just go over here and click select objects once you right click on it, and then that means you've selected all of these objects.
Sorry, so you created it while being
Excuse me.
you created these things while being.
Yeah, exactly. So you could always change them afterwards, but it's easy to change your current layer while you're creating. That way you can easily manipulate it afterwards and divide it up. So now that we have these floor plates that are actually solid, I'm gonna move over here. Gonna type in move and gonna use this box once again as a reference to bring it over here. And then we're going to use this reference as well on the end. Bring it up here for these respective floors. Oops. And if we turn off this construction layer, you can see that we have our floor plates right here.
How did you select all of the ones in the layer?
Oh, if you right click on the actual layer on the side here,
Oh.
you can. There's a scroll down to select objects. Likewise, if you had all 3 of these on the wrong surface and you wanted to change them to that, or on the wrong layer, you wanted to change them, you could right click and click change object layer, and it would change all of those to that object layer. All right, so now that we have some floor plates set up, let's say we wanted to put in some windows. So
Sorry, can you slow down?
yeah.
So you drive them one at a time onto.
Oh yeah. So let me go back. So here you have all of the surface, or all of the floor plates that are actually solids. And I just typed in move, and I used this box as a reference. Just pulled it over, and then for each one of these, I just would select that corner and bring it to this corner.
Did they have a little bit of thickness?
What?
Did they have some thickness?
The floor plates? Yeah, the floor plates, I extruded them all as like a solid for like down just 1 foot, which is kind of unrealistic, pretty big for a floor plate, but whatever.
I'm sorry, I'm a little behind. So I got my 4 floors and I'm at the extruding bit.
Uh-huh.
So now what?
All right, so you got your 4 floors. I would select all of them. And I would go into the perspective mode, the perspective viewport. And so those are surfaces, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so I would go up to solid, or up here, just click on solid on the menu up here. Sorry. Extrude surface straight. Yep. And type in -1. And then I would delete those surfaces that you have right there. So I just type delete right now. That way you can easily select these poly surfaces, which are the solids, which will be your floor plates. And you can move those over using this box to reference over to this actual form over here. So another way you could easily select those, you could type in here. So let's say you wanted to, instead of, in order to select all of these, you didn't have them selected, you weren't on a particular floor, you could type in select. Oops, you'd have to do underscore select. Cell. This one, select polysurf, and that will select every any kind of surfaces that are joined together. So it also does this form as well, but you can just easily hold down Control and click it off and move these over once again. So there's all kinds of ways to make sure you can select things without having to turn layers on and off. But of course, the easy way to do it is to turn layers on and off. So let's say we wanted to create some kind of window system on this facade here. What I want you to do is click on this this general form and do this explode command over here, so that you can get each individual surface.
This is the original shape.
Yeah, this is just the blue shape over here.
Oh, so you just put the other one on top, or we created the new form, but it's kind of hidden in here right now.
Which new? Oh, yeah, we just created the floor plates. If you turn off that layer, you'll see that the floor plates are just within this form. And this form I've created right here is not the actual form we're going to use. It's just like the form we're going to use to construct something that's actually going to be solid. So once you selected this face, also I would select these curves as well, and these two, and type in explode, or hit the explode command, just so we can select them individually.
So you're exploding what?
Sorry, if we turn off these, they're just these curves that are right here. Actually, now that I think about it, you don't need to do that. Never mind, I'm going to make it confusing. I'll make it easier. So let's just type in create UV curve. And then once you've typed that in, it'll ask you select curves on the surface to create UV curves. So UV curves are kind of what Rhino uses as kind of an inverse way of doing X and Y. So it's, instead of X and Y on like a flat surface, U and V are more like X and Y on like a curving or any kind of 3D surface. So you're going to select these curves, which are going to be the poly surface edge, and that will give me something to refer to.
Sorry, how did you select only that face?
Oh yeah, I exploded the general blue massing form.
Can you go over again what the UV curve is?
What it is or how to do it?
Yeah.
So it is actually like what it is. It's a way that you can. What we're going to use it for is to create a drawing on this wall. I mean, we could easily also, do a east or a west facing camera, do like a left view. But if you create a UV curve out of it, you can do this for any kind of form. So let's say we're on this facade, and doing a elevation view of that kind of facade won't be much help when you're trying to build something on it. So for like a kind of complexity, for complex forms, being able to take this surface and make it into a surface like this and make it into a 2D surface where we can then draw patterns on it or create windows out of it we're gonna just draw it in 2D right here, and then we're gonna translate it back up to that wall. So if you just select this surface and type in create UV, we can get going on that. I'll show you how it works. It's sometimes a little bit confusing, but it works pretty well.
When you're selecting the polysurface edge, is that of the?
It's actually of the floor plate, so I can. What I'm doing is I'm using that to create a reference here for this. This is going to be the form. Oh, sorry. So when you're doing a create UV curve.
Yeah.
You're doing it on this surface, but you want references so you can tell where like what level you're at, and so you can use that to draw on your surface and create windows at floor level. Yeah.
I can't seem to get my focus to go into the area that they should be. Isn't it they're too small?
Or, so I thought maybe that you was the wrong perspective,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Am I on?
A good way to do it, I think they're the right way, but when you just drag like that, if you zoom in real close, I would type in move. Instead of dragging, type in move, and then
I have 4
click on this corner. Oh, that's fun. Alright, so if you want to go down here and turn on object snap, yeah, and you see how there's none of these turned on, so turn on and the air
There shouldn't be a top.
and also perfect is good too. So, and then you should be able to move it.
so now
I wanted to go
You should be able to select that corner, top corner right there.
Color roof.
Keep it moving.
Going to stop.
And then if you move that, so that should work better.
I like how it's continuing.
what's a polysurface?
So a polysurface is pretty much just a solid because it's multiple surfaces joined together. But I guess the thing is a polysurface doesn't need to necessarily be closed. So, but like a solid is technically closed, but all solids are polysurfaces, but not all polysurfaces are solids.
Lines for reference.
What's the what does create UV curve stand for?
You're just creating a curve. UV is a coordinate system, which is like XY, but used more for 3D forms, not necessarily on like a single plane. So it's not always necessary for when you're doing it on a flat surface.
Yep.
It'll become more useful when we want to put like a pattern on this one. So I guess why don't we might as well just do this surface as well, so I can show you. So we're gonna take this kind of complex surface right here and do create UV curve on it. And we're going to select these curves. We're just going to move this over here so we can see it better. So then I'm going to switch over to this layer called 2D cutout. And let's say we're just going to put a series of rectilinear boxes as windows over here. Just to show you how this works real quick. So you have just a random pattern on there, maybe. Just have some kind of random pattern on there. So you can select all of these as well as the exterior curve right here.
Yeah, but how are you copying the object so quickly?
Oh, once you just type in copy, you can just keep on copying them.
Do you have to hold down a key?
Nope, just keep on clicking. You can also try using an array or any number of ways to just create multiple objects.
You chose an array?
Yeah. All right. Let's actually. So you can just type in array right here, and let's say the number you want in the x direction, that would be 3. Number you want in the y direction, maybe say 5. You don't want it in the z direction right now. So the spacing for x, you can just click on this and make sure that you have like a full floor. So I'm clicking right here and then right here. And I clicked again. That was weird, but anyways, maybe we should make it a little. Maybe we should undo that. So once you see right here, it'll let you change this. So let's change the y spacing. It's not quite long enough, so let's put it right there, and it'll change. So you just can go up here and click on these things and adjust it before you hit enter to accept. Then you hit enter to accept. Does that work for everyone? All right, so while we have these all selected still, we're going to type in a new command in order to put it back on there. It's called apply curve. And so we have all these surfaces selected, and we typed in apply curve, and now it's telling us to select the surface to apply the planar curves to. So now we can apply these curves back to the surface that we created it with. Whoops. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to type that again. Apply curve. There, it's been applied right back onto this in a certain direction based on the like the form and the actual shape, because it's slanted and curving. That's how it applies them. Now another way you could also cut them out if you wanted to just cut out regular shapes out of this would be to create a box. Whoops. And you could move it over. Let's move it again vertically. And you could just do an array there. And then you could always type in split and use those, and that would actually come up with a more regular shape. But